this one's based on competition and nothing more. This is based on my dream of doing something special and doing something unheard of. I have nothing against Stipe. I think he's a fantastic guy. I think he's a phenomenal father, husband, integral part of his community. But this is an opportunity to do something truly, truly special, and I can't pass it up.
Two more. If you win on July 7th, are you the greatest ever?
I win this fight July 7th, I'm the greatest fighter of all time. I've done something that was unheard of, and that's what I've always chased, right? I've always chased it. I chased it in the fights for Jones, because even regardless of the belt, I would always say, once I beat Jones, I will be the greatest fighter of all time. So I believe that once I do this, I think something that was so crazy that no one even has attempted it, I feel like I'm in the conversation for the best fighter of all time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I match up well. You know, first of all, Daniel's an amazing person. I think he's a great guy. I've known him for a while. You know, I like the guy. We've done shows together, and so he's just an amazing guy. You know, he's super tough. You know, he's an Olympic medalist. He won the Grand Prix, you know, Strike Force. He's a light heavyweight champ. You know, the guy has so many, you know, accolades. It's amazing. But, you know, bumping up is a super fight, you know, and so I would make sure it was right for, you know, both of us, and, you know, and it was, and so we're doing it.
Do you feel like he's a bit in over his head here? I mean, he's biting off a little more than he can chew. It's one thing to do it at light heavyweight. You're a big guy, heavyweight. What do you think about him taking this fight?
I mean, listen, he wouldn't take it if he didn't think he have a chance, you know. Tough guy. He's fought heavyweights before. You know, he's a great mixed martial artist. You know, he's one of the best in the world. You know, if not the best. I mean, he's fought numerous of top caliber guys his whole career, and so, you know, it's gonna be an amazing night. I'm excited.
So we had an inkling, Kenny, that this was in the works and could possibly be happening. I spoke to DC the day before it broke, and talked to him at length about it, so I'll get into some of that. You and I had a little bit of a disagreement last week, I guess, as to the merits of a fight between DC and Stipe. So I'm just going to start with the fact that I think he has a great chance to win this fight. I do believe Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time. I'd love to see him capstone his legacy with a win over DC or Cain Velasquez. I think Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time. But I think people just don't understand physically what Cormier brings to the table. I think they're a little bit fooled by the frame. He went 13-0 as a heavyweight. He went 25 minutes with Josh Barnett. And as Brian Stan would say, Kenny, until you roll with the guy, maybe you don't have a complete appreciation for the physicality. I think this is a competitive fight, and I'm excited to see DC seize the opportunity.
This is a huge fight. You know, Daniel Cormier, he's just a winner. You know, he's a guy who has been winning for the majority of his life, whether it was wrestling or mixed martial arts. He knows how to win. You know, this was tough because what was he going to do? He cleared out the division, right? He's already cleared out the light heavyweight division. The only fight out there for him that's semi-interesting of a guy that he hadn't fought was Glover Teixeira. But I think we know the result of that fight already. And because of that, I don't know if that's the most exciting fight for a lot of the fans. Right. I think he beats Glover. I think of the rematch against Gustafsson, I think he wins that fight, even though that's dangerous. And for Stipe, you know, obviously this is a man who knows how to wrestle. He was a Division I wrestler, certainly not at the level of Daniel Cormier, who wrestled in 2 different Olympics or qualified for 2 different Olympics. It's a guy who is a heavyweight knockout artist. This is a guy who's knocking guys out in the heavyweight division and doing so against some of the best strikers. You know, this is a tough fight for Daniel. It's an amazing fight. It's quite the opportunity. And I think at this point for Daniel, this is one of those legacy fights, right? If he can't get that fight or get a win over John Jones, you go after the big game, and that's Stipe Miocic. You go out there and win a heavyweight world championship fight. I mean, Daniel's already going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. If he's able to pull this off, you know, he would absolutely solidify himself as maybe top 3, you know, top 5 ever to compete in the octagon.
and chicken. I'm all about that cake and chicken. I'm all about that cake.
You serious?
And chicken. I'm all about that cake and chicken. I'm all about that cake.